So today we are seed saving. We have these right here. These are white marigold. They're an African variety. African varieties are taller and they're better for cut bouquets. We are also saving these orange marigolds, which are low-lying. These are French marigolds. This is Bolero and Brocade, I believe. But they will never get super tall. They are a lower lying bush. They could get up to here, but they're not going to get as tall as the African varieties do. We also have cosmos and zinnias that need to be seed saved. And I'm trying to keep these varieties separate so that they can all go in their separate containers and not just be a free-for-all. Also got a few well, they're not really volunteers. I threw out some really old seed, and like we're talking like 2014. And most of the little guidelines for how long seeds can last said that they wouldn't be viable, but I thought, oh well, you know what, it's cooling down. Most of them are brassicas. Now will be a fine time. And some have come up. I did notice though, so this is my older daughter's 4-H garden bed, and normally she would be doing this, but she's stacking wood right now for the winter. But I noticed she had a dahlia right here, and it was really big. But this year her soil is looking really depleted. It's hard, it's very dry, and it just needs a little more organic matter back in. So I've taken all of this. This is the plants that were here, the marigolds and cosmos, and I'm just chopping them into smaller pieces, and then we will amend with manure on top. We have rabbits, so we are going to be amending it with rabbit manure and possibly some chicken, just to kind of give it a boost before next year's harvest and season. Like, because if you amend everything in spring, some of it's going to be too hot. It hasn't had a time to kind of penetrate the ground. It hasn't had the time for all the microorganisms and bacteria to really get happy. And things do move slower in the wintertime, but you should still try and leave food for your microorganisms and bacteria. So amending in fall as well as spring is a really good idea. So that's what we're doing. I also have, as you can see, tons and tons and tons of eggshell in here. We had a bed that had some blossom end rot, and I just figured, sorry about that. We do live in a town, so traffic sounds are normal. But I figured since we already know some of our beds are calcium deficient, and this is, so your eggshells are not going to be available. These are not going to be bioavailable immediately. And I did powder some, and others I just broke up like this. But some of the calcium will start leaching into the soil over winter, and that's what we need. So just keeping in mind feeding those bacteria and organisms while I'm seed harvesting, because it's really easy, especially at this stage when things are dry and you're just like, you know what, I'm done with the year, I'm done with gardening. Now is the time I want to pull everything out. If you just chop and drop all of this, it helps feed your soil, because these are still full of all of the nutrition that plant had. I think that's all for today. You have a lovely gardening day.